Welcome to Millens TV.
Keith, I was reading in the newspaper the other day about governance. Governance, it's a bit of a buzzword at the moment. Can you, elucidate what the buzz is all about for me, please?
Well, you'll see that buzz in commercial sector, but also it's been very large in the sports sector at the moment. But it applies to all organisations, whether you are the local sporting club or the school.
Well, okay, so we know where it's it's everywhere in public life and probably a bit in private life. But what is governance, Keith? Can you tell me what it really is when you boil it down?
Governance is how organisations govern themselves, but really it is how you make decisions and how you make good decisions. The Charities Commission and the Stock Exchange have very good information on their websites, pages on how to govern your organisation. It really comes down to how you make your decisions.
Well, Keith, what makes a good decision? How do you, what are sort of some of the things that you've learned from your experience that help people make good decisions?
It comes down to information. You need good information, you need it timely, not on the day of the meeting, not emailed in on the morning of the meeting, but days before, that you can read it, think about it, and probably underline or mark it. So then you can come to the meeting well prepared, and at that meeting there'll be good questions. There must be time for good questions. Ask the good question, then question the answer. Ross, a healthy degree of scepticism will not hurt.
Yeah, how many times have we seen people that looking back a month later, 3 months later, a year later, in some cases many years later, and basically they wish they'd asked the right questions or been a little bit more sceptical about what was being presented to them at the time.
I think as a leader of an organisation, whether it's called a director or whatever your tag is for your role, be a little sceptical, take the time to get the good information, don't allow your decisions to be rushed, and ask questions of the answers you're given. Listen to the other people around the table who think differently, have different concepts and different way of looking at it, and hopefully the meeting will arrive at a good decision. But Ross, there's one problem.
That's only one?
Only one. It could be months later before you find out whether your decision is good or not. So you just can't walk out of your meeting and say, that was a good decision, or that was a good meeting. Time tells, and it's people look back at these decisions, as you said, maybe years or months later, and the last person you want to look at these decisions is a judge.
Now, Keith, does this mean that you have to get every decision 100% right all of the time? Is that what governance is all about, or is it just about having a good process?
Governance is about having a good process, and the relevant law is you need to have shown due care and diligence, which is simply have done your homework, which again is well prepared, allow the discussion to take place, and then come to an agreed decision. If that decision is wrong, that's not the issue. The issue is, did you have good processes beforehand to make that decision?
Well, some people recently in the newspapers have been criticised for having poor governance standards, almost because no decisions were made. Got any comments about that?
No decision was made, but no, can we say, correct decision or no positive decision was made. Decisions are made all the time. But as a leader of an organisation, you want to make sure the key strategic decisions that give great value to your organisation and protect your organisation are made, and are made properly.
Based on proper information and ability to consider that information. As you say, it's no good getting the information at the meeting and you haven't really had a chance to read it or question it or question management about it, or the people who've brought that information together, where they got it from, what sort of assumptions they've made, what validity testing they've applied to the information that they've given you. Well, Keith, what are some of to sum up, what are the key points people need to think about when they're making decisions then?
Have you got the relevant information? If not, don't make the decision. Get more information. Allow other people's views to be had. Yours might be wrong. And then once the decision's made, we implement it collegiately and all in a way that will give great benefit to the organisation you're with, whether that does be the local football club, the school, or a large corporate entity.
And I think that last point's quite valid, because we've seen, certainly with schools and other organisations, that people can suddenly find themselves dealing with many millions of dollars where they would have thought, oh, it's just a local school or another organisation. But many of these have very large assets, very large responsibilities, and therefore you need to get your decisions right and your decision-making process right. So you decide and make sure all of your decisions can be fully supported at the end of the day. That's the takeout today.